Anyway, I'm having to start over again. I don't know what the deal is. Um, I mean, it's already kind of. Anyway, I was talking about Olivia Newton-John, and all humor, joking aside, beyond the Halo venue, the Oval Office, yeah, yeah, the White House, yeah, the color code of the toilet, yeah. Anyway, enough said about that. That it's not my intent to insult truthfully anyone about it. Truthfully, um, really, I think it's some of the funniest humor that's like really seriously kept me calm so very many times. So it's like really good humor. But anyway, that's really all my intent is with it about it. Not to insult or degrade anyone in that way. If whatever. In any case, yeah. So anyway, I was thinking about Olivia Newton-John, and I was since I can remember when I really first thought about the Olivia, it was like I'd run across it and I'd thought about it, but what a normal automatic thing about Olivia being a Mount Olive in the Book of Thessalonians thing, even more so the word transfiguration, which is truthfully, I mean, it's like the whole entire point of the entire King James Version Bible, the word transfiguration. And ultimately, the alphanumerics of 192 applied to the Inuit copies of the U.S. $1 bill, equating to, yes, the 12 thing. Yeah, okay, yeah. So anyway, and other alphanumerics. And really, I hadn't seen it until here recently, until I started seeing home theaters. A little bit before the new ones coming out with the Atmos and all that, which is a lot of stuff I'm actually have been focusing on. But it's like I'm not sure if it's mega kilohertz, but it's like 192 mega kilohertz, I think. It's a setting with home theaters, and the 192 in electronics and electrical and other applications, as far as the alphanumerics. Likewise, the numerical values becoming more present and visible. And it's kind of like how long has that been around, kind of like thing. It's kind of like back to Olivia Newton-John. It's kind of like I was thinking about that. Olivia being, the halo thing, right? Maybe a little bit more so than the Book of Thessalonians, but truthfully, it's more of a Book of Thessalonians, the word transfiguration and re-entering heaven type of thing with the halo venue. And truthfully, I mean, to exclude and not include, so much about the brands, truthfully so, and the humor as well of yes, the toilet. Not to degrade anyone about it in any kind of way, truthfully not the intent. But anyway, yeah, so that being said, it's kind of like the Olivia Newton-John, or the, sacred words call upon you, wise one. Go to the rising canyon thing, yeah, where many moons fly. But anyway, yeah, so the rapture and the transfiguration is like the meeting in the sky, okay? And there's something very much about, J. Edgar Hoover and the word amphibious that is pretty much, based upon what I've seen and read, and, it's a J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI thing of amphibious aircraft being, water, land, and air, with the amphibious part about it. It's also involving platforms in the way, and also like what that means, to like not really levitation, but truthfully a principle of it, but based upon the practical application of amphibious being, I think with my perception, specifically intended as a spiritually valued, degreed level of brains about it, not necessarily a disregard in that way or thought. Because I mean, that's the way I really look at the J. Edgar Hoover thing involved with the hovercraft. Truthfully, even the Cosmo LiPo thing, and the Long John Silver, Hi-O Silver, There's more to it, but I'm going to skip all that right now. So it's kind of like the J. Edgar Hoover and the word amphibious with the Marines. It's an FBI thing of J. Edgar Hoover and the hovercraft, but I've seen it predominantly more so with the the Rangers of the Marines, the Marine Rangers. And I've said it before. How true it is, I'm not sure. If there's like a segregated divisions of the Rangers that are specifically, but in the information and where I've seen the Rangers in that way with amphibious um, exercises and everything about, it was always the Rangers and the Marines, and identified that way with the Marines and the Marine Rangers type of Texas thing. Not limited to, but predominantly what I've seen. Well, obviously, why wouldn't it be? But anyway, it seemed to be like the Rangers of the Marines were like the biggest part about the word amphibious in J. Edgar Hoover, in that way. Um, and to me, it's like, truthfully, a spiritually motivated Christian thing. Really not limited to religion, because there's a lot about Christianity that might only seem to be, uh, I don't know if Orthodox or unorthodox would be some culturistic type of traditional way of believing. I don't know if I would categorize it like that. Truthfully, I'm not sure. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, like, I know what I think about Christianity. I look at it totally in a whole completely different way. Truthfully, a Flag Day, yes, a Flag Day thing, June 14, 1992. Truthfully, several days within a 10-day period, yeah. Truthfully, even more so then. But yeah, in any case, yeah. So if it's like a Flag Day national anthem thing, that's a whole different story. Anyway, so it's like the word amphibious. I mean, when like J. Edgar Hoover and the hovercraft, the vacuum cleaner thing, the Long John Silver, yes, the Cosmo Lipo thing, yeah, funny, the Hio Silver thing. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, the humor about it and so much about it. I mean, as ridiculously as to me, it's like a spiritually motivated, a spiritually valued and motivated thing about Christianity. And truthfully, I mean, I see it, that way. Really, truthfully, I do. As far as like J. Edgar Hoover and the Marines and a Christian thing about it, about the brains and what it really is, in that way with the Transfiguration in the Book of Thessalonians as well. It's what it means to platforms and amphibious elevation, levitation, whatever right now, but yeah, and the rapture type of deal. To me, it's like a real big Christian thing. Likewise, it's kind of like the footprints on the beachfront. It's like a plaque that most Christian will see. Whoever has it is like a Christian thing about the two sets of footprints being 4 feet, and I don't remember everything about it, but yeah, it's kind of like then all of a sudden there's just like one set of footprints walking. There's a question, Lord, where were you when I needed you the most? And the Lord answered, that's when I was carrying you. Okay, and that was like the biggest thing. And I had been on like several interviews with like worldwide, international, American, English speaking manufacturers and other type of that involve like importing, exporting, and production and manufacturing, with electronics, and not limited to, but other type of stuff. And the interviews immediately identified the footprint. But seriously, I mean, going beyond just what normal people, the way it's defined with how it's used, as far as maybe a carbon copy or something involving pollution, as well as emissions, and green energy, as well as protecting the environment. The footprint goes, when a person gets into the interview and the real material that I found to be normally in there, and reading it, they will get that automatic perception of Christianity, at least participating in it, if they automatically identify that picture of the footprints on the beachfront with that question, Lord, where were you when I needed you the most? And the Lord answered, that's when I was carrying you. And it's like I was reading that several times on some of those interviews, and I mean, it was like right there. It's kind of like it was like an automatic thought as the Christian thing with that specific picture. Okay, and in my mind, it's kind of almost like an issue of importing and exporting, if not citizenship and birthrights. Likewise, in a way that possibly is might not be normally perceived as how could that possibly be so kind of like thing with citizenship and birthrights in that way with the beachfront, and only to discover that liquidable equity or somewhere in my mind there's something about Roe v. Wade, and I've looked into the issues of de facto, what litigation is to de facto, or human capital, whether if the credit or deduction on the tax form is comparable reference in principle practical application, symbolic of Roe v. Wade, of what banking and banking systems mean on the front lines of the beachfront type of deal, and what the footprints, in essence, really a life-saving spiritual thing about Christianity of the footprints on the beachfront, yet also a computer language thing about like binary numbers, even Mount Rushmore, and truthfully, the 4 feet, and normal sequencing of characterizations in sets of 4 with binary numbers, and programming like computer language, symbolic even to Mount Rushmore, as far as everything I've looked at, and really got serious about looking at it in that symbolic way, and that's part of the way I look at so many things about certain issues. And anyway, like I was at several interviews, and I was like reading it, and I was like seeing and like grasping the footprints, the Mount Rushmore, the binary numbers, the I-10 thing, and you see now you see 4 feet with 2 sets of footprints, and then now you see 1 set of footprints being 2, and there's only 2 numbers in sequencing and characterization of binary numbers in sets of 4, which is still 0 and 1, or 1 and 0, or any combination in the set of 4. Okay, so I mean it's kind of like I automatically think of Mount Rushmore that way, because of the 4 in computer language and programming in Interstate I-10, and a lot more, even in equator, what one person means, somewhere in between I-10, all the way from like Los Angeles to Florida, something about the equator. Anyway, I kind of like looking at that right here. Anyway, so like, I was thinking about all that stuff, and that's the way I see J. Edgar Hoover involving that, the hovercraft and the amphibious part about the Thessalonians and the Transfiguration, and even the rapture and the meeting in the sky type of a thing, and the Rangers of the Marines. I mean, I'm so I mean, it's so really truthfully cool, because somewhere in the armed forces, I mean, knowing that type of stuff, I mean, to like me personally, I mean, to me that's like a big deal about brain work and knowing what to experience, and maybe even the circuit itself, and the truth about probably hundreds of years of like knowing that was all created that way for something to be found, because of the miracle, because of the spiritual experience, because of the exercise, because of the demanded participation, beyond making some sort of acknowledgement of something that had been identified as the true fact about the spiritual miracles involving, yes, the U.S. dollar and certain aspects, and going through it, and I think it's really cool, because that's what I think about the Marines and the Rangers, about that part of Christianity and alphanumerics and the Christian religion and certain things about it. So I'm very much confident that they are the highest degree level of, like, the armed forces that are so very much about it.